What a okay game. For how much that was, what an okay result. That's like getting the biggest platter of food just shoved in your face. Like all this food, fried chicken, meatloaf, whole 9 yards. You got like 20,000 calories, and you're just shoveling it down. And like they baked you a huge banquet feast, and all of it is just kinda. It averages out to be okay. It's got some really good stuff in there. The fried chicken was pretty fucking bomb ass, but also had some shitty chili or something that was just undercooked or whatever. It's a bunch of okay at the end. I hated a lot of shit in this game. I loved some things, like the visuals, the atmosphere for the most part. I actually kind of liked the level system a little better, and I don't know why. I just found it to be more intuitive in this game. But it was also less impactful. Levels didn't feel like they did as much. So it was kind of a give or take. I don't know. Story was okay. Vendrick was the coolest part. I guess the Chandra connection to Manus is cool. A lot. Or a lot, it's not the right word. Very cool. Whatever. But all in all, it was just fine. Because there was some really strong suits and some really weak suits. Again, that average out to just make a... And that's the game. So mechanically speaking, I had a lot of problems. I didn't like the health thing, losing half your health or whatever. Bunch of other. I've been ranting about this game long enough. Watch the Let's Play and you'll get a better vibe. But there were some very specific things that I found to be dumb with the design. Hitboxes I thought were messy a lot of the time. But all in all, my biggest complaint with the video game as a whole, it's sort of a vibe thing, I guess, but it has to do with like the trash mobs. It has to do with all this other stuff. The bosses sucked, undeniably so, and the trash mobs were lame and not fun. All of this kind of comes together to how I would describe the game as being a game that laughs at you for dying, and not one that challenges you, but wants you to succeed in the end. And that is the difference for me between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 1 wanted me to succeed. It wanted to challenge me, but it also wanted to see me win in the end. Whereas Dark Souls 2, it feels like it's a game that's set up to make you rage quit, so that you just stop playing. And that's just not the same spirit to me. Because Dark Souls 1 was never, I don't think, designed to be that way. It would sometimes happen, but I never felt like the devs were trying to do that. And I'm not saying the devs were trying to do that in Dark Souls 2, but I got the impression that it felt that way, even if they didn't deliberately do that. And it's because of the trash mobs, it's because of the bosses that have so much health, like the Ancient Dragon, all these other things here and there culminate to that point. I reiterated that throughout the whole Let's Play, I think. So I think I hit that home if you watch. So I won't go too long. I usually spend too much time ranting and rambling in these little reviews. So that's my main issue. The strongest suit of the game, for the first 3 or 4 levels, I had more fun than I did probably in all of Dark Souls 1 and the gameplay, not the boss fights. Loved the design of like the world. I liked the Hyde's Tower of Flame. I loved that place. I loved Lost Bastille, one of my favorite areas in the Dark Souls franchise. Some really, really cool areas at the beginning, and then it all just kind of petered off and then just went off a cliff. And then it became shit by the end. And that's such a bummer because it had some potential out the get-go, and then it just kind of dwindled and faded and then just kept beating it into the fucking dirt. And that's the result of what we had in the base game. So I think the DLC is going to be a lot better, and obviously we are going to play that, and I'll give you a review of the whole entirety of Dark Souls 2 with the DLC included. But right now I'm just telling you about the base game. And the base game is, for me, probably a 6 out of 10. Not gonna lie. Because of the length, because of the tone of the way it was designed, and because of just the shit bosses, which is really what you play Dark Souls to do. So, for me, I know 6 out of 10 for some people might be even too high. Again, when I get the comprehensive review, it's gonna go up. I don't know. But I do feel like 6.5 or 6 out of 10 is the most accurate rating that I can give it. Maybe a 5.5. I feel like after the comprehensive review is done, I'll give you a more accurate review or like score. I'm gonna say 5.75. I'll bump it down a little bit. But it is better than the average. No, 6 out of 10 feels right because it's above the average level of a video game, which for me is like a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 is like a forgettable whatever video game that averages out to be literally just nothing. 4 would be like bad, like legitimately bad. This is not a bad, like really bad video game or anything. It's just a shit Dark Souls game and a slightly above average video game. That's my take on Dark Souls 2. It is above average of a video game. It has a little more effort put into the music, the level design, certain elements than an average run-of-the-mill milquetoast forgettable video game. I'm doing the Donald Trump thing, by the way. Anyway, but it does not supersede that very much. Very little. 6 out of 10 feels about right. The saving grace that makes it from being a 5.5 is the fact that the story is a little bit better than your average video game by a decent margin, even though it doesn't do anything compared to Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1's like on the whole other fucking planetary atmosphere level. But it is still better than like a lazy story that doesn't even matter. So it does have some effort put into that. It has some effort put into the level design early, even if later it doesn't. If it was just the second half of Dark Souls, it'd be like a 4.5, 4 out of 10. First half does keep it from being that. It keeps it at about a 6. Which is still not very good for me. I don't have many games that fall that low. I have a pretty low bar when it comes to video games, I feel. I'm sure in 2 years when I've reviewed a bunch of games, I'll come back to regret saying that. But right now I feel like I have a pretty low bar and it didn't really clear it. I can't really think of a lot of... Like, Shark Tale's the worst game I've ever played in my life. That'd probably be like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. This is better than fucking Shark Tale by a mile. I had some fun, even if I did rant and rage a lot. So 6 out of 10 flat. That feels like the most accurate rating. So also these credits are still fucking rolling. I thought I was gonna be rambling too much that we wouldn't have enough time. Shit. My expectation after the DLC is to bump this up to like a 7.5, maybe even an 8 if we're lucky. But the base game is gonna bog it too far down. Like, maybe I'll do a separate rating of just DLC and just the base game, or just DLC and then comprehensively with the base game. But I'd rather just do a comprehensive review of the whole entire... I didn't do a separate DLC rating for Dark Souls 1. I don't intend to do that with other games, so I'm pretty sure I'll just do a comprehensive review of both the DLC and the base game. Fuck, I'm out of things to say. Those of you that weren't here, Dark Souls 1, I think got like an 8.5 or like a 9 maybe out of 10. Somewhere between 8 and 9. I'm pretty sure it was closer to a 9. I'll have to go back and watch my review again. I don't remember exactly, but it was up there. And this does not hold a candle to that. Let that be the one thing you remember about this. This has nothing on Dark Souls 1. Nothing. The only thing that I even gave it credit for was the first few minutes I enjoyed a little more. I don't even know what the reasoning was, and I couldn't tell you. It was just a vibe thing. On a objective analysis, nothing. The best level in this game and the best boss in this game hold no candles to over half of Dark Souls 1's content in both regards. So, 6 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. Play Dark Souls 1 instead. There you go. There's your review. I hope you like it. Liked. It's over. Past tense. Anyway.